Annyeonghaseyo! Welcome to Afternoona Delight, where Leah, Megan, and Amy, romance novelists, and your K-romance guides. So grab some dekboki and listen to your new favorite unnies.
Hey everybody, it's Leah Riley here.
Hello, it's Megan.
Hi there, it's Amy.
And I was saying that I feel like I look like a worm today because I do. I look like an earthworm. I do look like an earthworm.
That was not the first word that came to mind when I saw you, but
no, not at all.
There's like isn't it? Oh, it's the Labyrinth where he's like, I'm just a worm. Like I feel like I'm that like creature from the Labyrinth. That's just like the worm. But that being said, I do. So we camped this weekend because we haven't had a family vacation all summer. And so we went away for 3 nights, 4 days up into the mountains. And on the last night the last morning, we were picking stuff up and like cleaning up. And apparently I started to self-glaze myself and started to be like, basically like I was like, I was basically saying like, I can't remember the exact phrase I used. I didn't call myself a baddie in the Gen Z context that my kids use of like, I'm a baddie in that like I'm a hottie. I was trying to be more like, I'm like a badass. Like I am like a bad bitch kind of thing. And so I was basically like, I don't remember what the context was, but I was really toughening. Like I was like, yeah, I'm that bitch. And my 2 oldest kids just start laughing. And I was like, what? And they're like, I wish you could see what you look like right now, bad bitch. Like, I wish you could see what you looked like. And I was like, what do you mean what I look like? And they're like, because you're kind of adorable in a way that makes us feel kind of sad and like maybe we need to take care of you. But if you want to think you're a bad bitch, that's fine. And I was like, what? And because I hadn't seen myself in days, I was like, take a picture of me. I want to see what I look like. And so I'm going to post the picture of what I looked like. And I would say I look like the friend that you might take fishing. I don't think I look like I'm a baddie. I will say if I was walking around being like, I'm a bad bitch, I could blah, 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 da, da, da. I'm in a bucket hat with like saggy leggings and like a stretched out shirt. And I look like I'm like the Weekend at Bernie's corpse.
Well, I'm sure it is not like that.
No, and I'm not saying that. No, it is. I'll take a picture. Okay. I'll share the picture because when I saw it, I was like, "Oh, that's funny. I'm going to put it on the podcast." But other than that, the trip was really fun. The highlight was that we saw really big meteors, which was a surprise. So what was fun was the rhythm of the trip. So the very first night, we played a game that I bought my family last Christmas called "My Family Is Weird." And it's one of these like family games. Mm-hmm. And it ended up just turning into like kind of a meme game where people roasted each other. And it was like just on the edge of nasty.
Ooh.
And so that was the first day.
And it was just the 5 of you, right?
It was like just the 5 of us. And we have not spent a lot of time together at all this summer.
Aww. And did the dog go with you?
The dog did not come. No. Okay. The dog and the cat is missing again. So the cat, I don't know where the cat is. But the dog stayed home with the neighbor. But it was like, a game. It would be like, who is the person who talks about celebrities the most or something? And then like you vote who that person is and then the person gets the card or, just things like that. And so we played that game. It got like, a little bit spicy. The second day, full fight. Not me and Nick and I got along great the whole trip. Like I had jobs to do. I was cooking dinners. Like I had stuff to do. I was too busy to fight. But the 3 kids got into it and they kind of got like kind of nasty with each other. And I was like, you know what? You 3 sit down and you figure it out. Because they got into a fight to where my almost 16-year-old bit the almost 18-year-old.
What?
Yeah, they were having like a brat fight by the river and then they were like messing around with each other and then it got serious and then they like kind of manhandled each other and then she bit him and then he was like pissed. And so then he like, so it was like all these things and then like big brother was mad at sisters and it was like, oh, so they had to sit down and like work it out. So like the second night was tense and then everyone split. Like it was like the bedroom household except like within 10, like everyone went, like Nick and I hung out by the fire with Poppy and like Jara and Bronte split the second night. That was like the tempo. And then the third night, everyone came together and was like having like family memories and reminiscences. And then like we all took like our chairs and like sat on the edge of this like cliffy overlook the ocean or the river and we like watched and there were like meteors. So it was like this like funny rhythm of like how like a group comes together of like kind of like forced forced proximity, then like the like yucky comes out, and then it's like healing and everyone's together. But underpinning all of this was the fact that there were 3 bazillion snakes. And I'm not a great snake person. And there were snakes everywhere. Gavin wrote me and was like, how is camping? Like our Patreon Gavin. And I was like, it was good except for all the snakes. So there was a sign that was like, these are the snakes of like the area, the region. And I was like, oh, there's like quite a few snakes. When we first moved in, I was like, there's like 15 snakes. But like, as a point of information, I believe that in the end, we may have encountered every
single one.
Snake.
That is wild. Really. I love snakes. So
I do not love snakes. And so
most people don't.
Megan, didn't you write a snake hero or wanted to write a snake hero?
You wanted to write somebody that was like
a snake handler?
I wanted to write a snake charmer hero. Yes. Yeah. I did. I was
like a reptile store owner. Yeah. You wanted to do a reptile store owner, which is like
correct. Like he goes to reptile shows and he
would be drier than a reptile store.
I know.
Owner.
You guys were like Megan, we support you in literally everything you do except this.
Yeah. So anyway, so we camped along this river. It's called the Yuba River, and right at the base of our campground had like 19 campsites in it. It was like this nice little intimate campsite. And there was this area that was called like the bathtub because it was shaped, there was like a little waterfall that fed into it. And then it kind of like was like protected a bit from the river. And then you could like tube out and like float part of the river from there. The very first day we get in, it's so hot. It's like 90 degrees. And that's so hot for us. And then we're like in the water swimming. And this it was cute in theory. This water snake zips straight through the bathtub. And I was like, are you like, what was that? Like, what is this? And I'm like, okay, that's fine. And then I go down to like fish with my son, like further down, like he wants to fish. And then I'm like, there's another snake. There's another snake in the river. Mm-hmm. And then we start walking up and Nick went ahead and was like, did you see the rattlesnake? I'm like, no, I did not. And he's like, oh, there
rattlesnake
on the trail.
Okay, I don't like rattlesnakes.
Right. And then I walk back down to the river and Nick and Jared's like, are you okay? I was like, why? He's like, well, the 2 snakes. I'm like, what 2 snakes? I'm like, there are 2 more snakes? And then like everywhere we started to walk, I would just be like, is there going to be a snake? Is there going to be a snake? And then we'd like float this little like inner tube like loop that we had. And the whole time I'd be in the tube because Bronte would like bully me, like, you need to be with me. And I'd spend the whole time on like high panicked alert, like, what if a snake comes by? What if a snake comes by? And then the very last, every time we went to the bathtub, that snake was there every single time. So I kind of got used to it. I was like, I guess this is like your little house, my guy.
Yeah, this is like his home. He's like, you're in my home.
But it was really, really snaky. And, it's not Australia where like the snakes are going to hurt you. Even the rattlesnake, like a rattlesnake's you're going to be fine. Like it's not going to do shit. But like, I don't want to encounter
I don't want to find out though.
Yeah, I still don't want to get bit. I mean, I have been bitten by a snake, but
what?
I've been bitten by snakes, but they're like
plural?
In a pet.
Were you touching them on purpose though?
Well, I worked at a pet store. I had to. I had to clean their cages.
Gross. What? You put your hand in and one bit you and you were like...
Yeah, like it made the back of my hand bleed because we had like... So those aren't like fang snakes. Like I don't even think we sold any that had like fangs.
So a non-fang snake made you bleed?
Yeah. So let's say like a ball pipe, like the pythons and stuff, they kind of have like rows of like sharp teeth. And this was like a small snake too. So when he bit me, it was like, it's
and
like
you still like snakes after being bit by a snake.
Yeah, well, I've stuck in my hand is home. I mean, the worst thing I've been bitten by is not a snake. Like a cockatoo almost bit my ear off. So like that was the worst.
And also, it's notabirds, like notabirds and snakes.
Cockatoos are, I've been hurt the worst by birds, large birds, like parrots. They can fuck you up. I'm just saying, if like you're ever in the wild, like I'd rather be bitten by a snake than like a bird of prey.
I used to get
a cockatoo is a bird of prey.
No, but that's what I'm saying though. If they can fuck you
but
up,
like we're not talking about like a vulture.
It's not like a raptor, but like a cockatoo has almost ripped my ear off. Like they are no joke. Anyway.
Can we just stick to cats and dogs and be happy? Like,
I know. I'm sorry it was snaky, Leah, but
It's
I'm
okay.
glad
It was
like
just a really unpleasant experience to be like, why, like, I guess I tried to be like, look, I'm in your spot, but
I know.
but still,
I
can you
did realize
disperse?
though, I don't like snakes and they do make me scared. Like I am, I'd say borderline phobic. Like because I was raised with a mom that was so irrationally afraid of snakes. Like, so when she was little, her family used to bully her. She was the second youngest of 11 kids. And they lived out in like rural Michigan. And for funsies, like her brothers would like put snakes in her bed or like wrap
No,
snakes around her
that would give you a
doorknob
phobia of
or
snakes.
chase her with snakes. So she's like irrationally afraid of snakes.
I think it's rational.
Yeah, actually, I find that
But like
rational.
growing up, she put a fear. So like I can remember one time we lived on a lake when I was little, and I can remember I was down by the lake with her, and my youngest sister, because there were 4 of us, my youngest sister was a baby. I was probably like 7 or 8, and a water snake came by in the lake. And my mom left my sister in a bouncer on the dock and ran into the house, got up on the balcony, and then was like yelling for my dad, but like left the baby. Like the baby was down. Like there was no going back. Like that was the level of like.
That's extreme fight or flight. Yeah.
Like she was like, I'm not going to save my child. So I remember standing with my mom on the balcony next to her as she was like, John, John. And the baby's like down on the bouncer, like on the dock with like the water snake in the water. Like not like hunting the baby, but like, she left her baby.
Yeah.
And my life growing up was just like there'd be garter snakes, which are like the most like docile.
We have those here.
Yeah.
And they would have to be murdered every time. And so then it was scary because my dad would like chop the heads off snakes with like a shovel and then put them in like burn piles. Cause like you guys are Midwest, you have burn pile. Like we grew up with burn piles. Like we lived in the country, but like we had burn piles. And then there were always like snake bodies in the burn piles. So I'd have to like run by the burn pile. Like I don't want to see the dead snake.
Oh.
So yeah. But anyway, and so then moving to Australia was just like, here's things that are gonna fuck you up.
Right.
And everyone's like the chillest chill over it. Just like, I'm out in the woods with like friends and they're like telling their kids, like, just keep an eye out for the wiggly sticks. I'm like, you mean like the 3rd most venomous snake in the world is the wiggly stick? Okay. Okay.
Oh yeah. I mean, I saw it was either a TikTok or a reel, and it was an Australian family, and they had a snake in the house, and like the dad was teaching like the preschooler how to like get the snake out the door with a broom. And while they're doing it, mom walks in the front door, doesn't even flinch at like dad and like 3-year-old kid like brooming a snake out the door.
I mean, I will say for me, like in the pet store, I wasn't really scared of anything. And I think that's because they're caged and they have names. Like, it's really hard to be scared of like a snake named Fred. It just is like, to me, that's like hard.
I could be scared of a snake named Fred.
Okay. Well, but like encountering a snake in the wild, it would startle me, of course. I'm not going to be like, but then probably once I get over being startled, I'm going to then immediately Google it. I'm going to be really excited. Like, oh my gosh, what is this snake? Could it harm me? I would say the only thing that at the pet store that when I worked at a pet store, this was in high school, that I still could not handle no matter what. I handled every single kind of animal you can think of. I could not handle tarantulas.
No.
I could not. I still have a hard time with like spiders are just, and I love like the garden spiders. They're called like orb weavers. They're the ones that are like very Charlotte Webby. They're the ones that have like the big webs that they spin at night and they catch stupid bugs. And then they eat their web in the morning. I love them. And they're like
they eat
only
the web. I didn't know they ate the web.
Yeah. Then they'll like eat the web in the morning. And so like I would always see them, like my kids would be out for the bus stop and you'd see like the big dew covered, web in the trees. I love those. But I would say like every other spider I cannot. It's the one thing I'll never be able to handle, I think, it's the arachnid of it. It's the 8 legs. I
don't know what it is about the look of a spider that is so terrifying.
Yeah, see, it doesn't do. I'm not like grabbing it and rubbing it on my face, but spiders don't do too much for me. Like my kids are really afraid of spiders and slugs. And neither freak me out.
Slugs are cool.
Did I tell you, speaking of like handling strange animals, did I tell you that my son inadvertently handled a sea slug in the ocean when we were
Oh,
in
you
Florida.
you mentioned it.
It was, I don't know, did I mention it on the pod?
I think no, not in the pod. I
Okay.
think you mentioned it just in like our
I mean,
convos.
it's really quick. We just
Yeah.
went to the beach. We went to the beach one day, and it was a very seaweedy beach.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm out. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just like waiting, like in the shallow. And it was shallow, like really far out. But like my son and my daughter want to go out and like bob in the waves, you know. And my son, like, not really affected by it. He's just like tossing seaweed out of his way as he's like wading out. And I mean, he tells me this when he comes back in. He's like, and at one point, I picked up what I thought was like a clump of seaweed, and it was like this gelatinous
Oof.
thing.
Oof.
And he's like, when I tossed it back into the water, like this, it like poofed out this like purple liquid. I'm like, oh, it's something that inks, like it inks.
Yeah.
And like, I'm like, it sounds like it's probably like a sea slug. And so we Googled it and like showed him a picture. He's like, yep, that's what was in my hand.
Oh, that's so wild. I'm
Yeah.
surprised it was like that. I guess I thought they were on the more of the ocean floor, but I don't know much about sea slugs
I mean,
at all.
we'll say, and it could have also been like, I mean, it wasn't like huge waves, but it was active. And so like, you know, it was tossing up the seaweed and tossing up everything.
That's true.
And
yeah.
my daughter said she's like wading back towards shore, and there's a crab swimming at her, like not a tiny little crab on like the sandy like ocean floor, but like a crab swimming in her direction. So she's like, and I'm out now.
Yeah.
But-
sea slugs, crabs. That's funny.
Yeah.
That is, yeah. I don't know. I think for me, it's heights still. Like I shared, you guys weren't here when I shared my height story. I did my own podcast like 2 times ago, and I got deep into my, my height phobia for my banter that I gave for myself. And yeah, I'd say there's nothing like, because to me, it's the snake is the startle effect. And then afterwards,
Yeah.
I'm probably going to be good. I've never had a snake like come for me. So it's like, ooh, that's scary. But like now I'm okay. Now I know it's there. Now I'm more chill. But heights, completely. Like that's where I know like that is my peak. Like if that's how my mom feels every time she sees a snake, I get it. Because like for me, I have no think, as Jin says in BTS. Like I just lose everything.
I can like
I'm not a good heights person.
Yeah, I can like feel the feeling I get right now from heights. Like I can recreate it because it's so like visceral. I'll get like full body chills. I'll get disoriented. I'll almost have like vertigo when I'm in height. When I'm at like, you know what I mean?
No, I mean we were just
I get full vertigo.
Yeah.
I mean it wasn't even that tall, but we had to go over like to go to the beach. We had to go over this bridge that like goes over the bay.
Mhm.
And then over to the beach. And as you're going up the bridge, because the bridge has to be high enough for boats to go under, right? And there's big boats that are, you know, that are in that part of the
Wait, are you driving
ocean.
this or walking it?
Driving.
Okay.
My mom is driving. So
Okay.
I get vertigo just when I can't see the other side of the bridge. Like it's
no.
going up like a roller coaster. And it's,
Ooh.
I mean, literally it's like maybe a half-mile long bridge. You know,
Right.
mile at the most. Like it's not that long, but I'm like, I could not be the one driving. Like I would get freaked out,
Right.
vertigo, heights.
For me,
Yeah,
it's
so when
like
you guys
it's
are
like
in
the
Chicago,
buildings.
you're not going to go up to the top of the Sears Tower or the Hancock and like
Is that thing where they like you like lean forward?
tilt out.
That's my
I-
nightmare. Like I don't understand. Like I got to be honest, I would not pay to do that to my body. Like I
So,
just
yeah,
would.
I went up there with Jera, and there was like the thing where you can like step out and it was like clear or something.
Yes.
And I was like, I literally collapsed and was laying on the carpet in the corner saying no. And I couldn't look at him doing it either. I was like, no.
Oh my God, no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Can you do that?
No,
Amy? Okay.
absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, and we did the Empire State Building when we were in New York last year. And I have to say like I can't lean. I won't lean against any glass or anything
It's
like
the
that.
straight down for me. Like I can be on a high building and like look out at like whatever the distance, like a skyline, whatever. It's standing at a ledge and looking straight down. I get immediate.
No.
I get immediate vertigo, and I'm like
Grand Canyon is a place. I went to Grand Canyon with my family. They thought they were taking me on like a treat trip when I was like, you know, I don't know, 15 years ago or something. My dad was like, let's go to the Grand Canyon. I was like, that is literally my idea of hell on earth. Like I disliked it so intensely. And the idea of going now with like my kids and seeing because What's worse, I would just be like, fine, shoot me, kick me off. But watching my kids go near a ledge,
right.
Absolutely.
take me out.
That's me
Right.
when my kids were younger and I used to have to still go with them to Six Flags and they would go up on these ridiculous roller coasters and I would have to just watch them go up. Absolutely not. And now we're trying to plan excursions for this cruise that we're going on next summer. And a couple of the stops are like Norway and Iceland.
Mm.
And my son wants to zip line. And I'm like, absolutely not. Like I am not like he wanted to do like a helicopter ride. And I was like, nope. Like I cannot. I cannot.
Well, one thing before we start, we have an Oculus, that we've all talked about that before. And there's this game where you ride up an elevator, and so an Oculus is like, you're 3D. You feel like you're immersed in where you are. And what's this game called?
It's the plank. It's Richie's plank experience.
That's it.
Yeah.
You ride up an elevator, you go out the plank.
I fell down.
Me too.
And then you jump off the plank, and you feel like you are legit, like your brain is like,
vertigo.
oh, you're falling. Yeah, you're falling. It's most surreal experience.
Yeah,
I mean, I've done it, and I'm like, I'll do that like once or twice, but that's about it because it's wild.
Yeah. No.
Okay,
but
I don't know. I don't have a good.
You know
Yeah,
what?
we
We didn't banter last week, so we made up for it this week.
Well, okay, here we go. Is the falling in love can feel like vertigo. And
Especially if you have been an eternal single.
And so what did we do this week? We got to see the journey of where are they now?
Right.
Yeah.
6 months later.
Yeah. So last week we covered the second season of Better Late Than Signals. Oh my gosh. Better Late Than Signals. Last week we covered season 2 of Better Late Than Single. So if you want to listen to that podcast, that was last week. This week we're covering the reunion special, which was called Better Late Than Single After Service, I think was the like formal title on Netflix. And that was 6 episodes, but they were like half an hour each. And to be honest, they watched super fast.
30 minutes. That's all we need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we needed 6 though.
We definitely did not.
There
need
was
6.
stuff that did not need to happen, and we can talk about that because there is definitely stuff that did not.
I would have
need to
done
happen.
2.
Agreed.
1 hour. 1 hour. If we can't do it, if you can't do it, I guess we'll get into it. But that's my feelings. If you can't do a reunion in 1 hour,
well, because really the best episode was the last one, and I feel like if they would have done like an hour of that, it would have been great.
Yeah. So I guess first of all, do you guys seek out? I know like reality shows aren't necessarily something that we watch all the time, but do you like the reunion episodes? And if you watch a reality show, do you like to have a reunion episode?
I do if I'm left wondering at the end what happened. Like, especially with stuff like this, like where it's dating, I do want to know if the couples that left together have kept in touch. So in that respect, yes, I do want to, like, I like a catch up, but we could have had a catch up. Like Leah said, we could have had a catch up. And then like with the fun stuff they did in episode 6, all in one episode, and I would have been good.
yeah, I think for me, it's kind of hit or miss. Like, I feel like I watch it with a sigh because I'm like, well, I'm gonna, if I've invested in you, I'm gonna watch you.
Right.
But I'm also like, did I need to?
Right. Right.
Yeah. I mean,
Well,
I would say,
especially when if there is nothing great to report,
right,
then what's the point?
then we don't need 6 episodes. But normally if I'm watching a reality show, the reunion episode's my favorite part. The reunion episode is everything. Like, I'm not satisfied with a reality show until you give me the reunion show.
Okay,
and part
so
of it is
that's
because
like your capstone.
It 100%. I like having like a host who will then kind of wrap things up with the stars of the show. I think of like Andy Cohen, who like made his entire career like interviewing the Real Housewives in their reunion shows. I love a reunion show. But I usually like a reunion show because in America they're super messy. And that's the best part. Whereas in Korea, they do not
No.
do messy.
No.
They don't do messy at all.
So let's talk about like what the format was for this reunion, for this 6-episode reunion. Then we can talk
Yes.
about it maybe like in chunks of the parts of it. So
Great.
So basically, the first 2 episodes, right? The first 2 episodes were really like the checking in with the singles.
Mhm.
And they all came back. They all sat down. We got to find out if the couples who left together were still together. And we got to have, I mean, there was some good like putting each other on the spot. Like there were questions that were written for certain singles to ask other singles. And I thought that was pretty interesting. So that was episodes 1 and 2. Episodes 3 and 4, 3, 4, and 5. Was it 3, 4, and 5?
Just episode 3 was basically just
Oh, episode 3 was Jaeyoon. Sorry.
Jaeyoon.
Episode 3
Okay.
we brought back Jaeyoon from season 1.
Our like bush hider guy.
Who basically gave a PowerPoint because he's with a girl. He's got a girlfriend that he's been with for almost a year now.
Yeah.
And he basically gave a legit PowerPoint on how to be successful in a relationship.
Mhm.
And then episodes 4 and 5 were the Avatar dates.
Yep.
I have some thoughts about that. And then
Me too.
episode 6 was dating coaching, like that would have been great in the show. I loved it so much.
We're gonna get to that
Episode
because
6.
I have so much to say about. I actually have so much to say about episode 6.
Okay,
I have
good,
a lot to
'cause
say.
Okay.
So
let's back it up. Let's
Yeah.
Should we talk about it in chunks and go like kind of chronological? Okay.
Let's talk about the
So,
first 2 episodes, basically.
Did anything surprise you in the first 2 episodes as far as like couples who left together and where they are now?
I think again there is just, and I realize that there's just so much couching of words in order to kind of like save face and not offend. And I really just wanted that. I really wish they would have had a host in these 2 episodes. I wish they would have
Yeah.
had someone on, because kind of how I feel like they were. What we want to know is to have the final couples like kept in touch, and they kept like really hedging around that, which is really irritating in my opinion. Like just tell us. And even that felt like shoehorned in because they kind of just had the 2 different couples like.
It was really weird because like they made us wait. They made us wait, and then all of a sudden they would have like a little one-on-one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like spoiler alert, nobody's together.
Right. And they also like they would ask each other questions, and I was and there's so much giggling and shyness, and it's like just have a host on the stage asking them these questions. Oh my God, you know what I mean? Like I just felt like there was so much like dead time because they were like, I can't read this. Oh God, I just can't.
Right, because
I just
what
can't read
happened,
this for like 30 seconds.
In case people haven't watched and they're still listening to us, what happened was a single would be asked to go up on stage. They were sitting in this little theater, and one of the singles would be asked to go up on stage, and they were given an envelope, and in the envelope were cards of questions that they had to ask another single. And it was basically, it was, you know, if it was like, let's say if it was, who did I want to like Jun Soyoon, right? Then they made her ask questions of Jae-seo because they were the ones who were the closest to possibly coupling, but never really did. And so basically they were putting the person who they dated or almost dated like on the spot. But they weren't prepared to ask these questions. And so like Megan's saying, they pull the question out of the envelope and then be so mortified that they have to ask this question.
It just felt like there was this, like, can we just move on? Like, I feel like I was fast forwarding of them blushing and like stammering for 30 seconds. And can we just, this is the reunion show. So like, just get them to, well, I guess it's the after service, but like, just have them answer questions. You know, can you just have a host? Just have a host.
Yeah, I think that it's just felt like I understand the couching and the hedging and wanting to be polite, and also just that sense of like, like the world's watching you and what that is. And I'm a hedger. Like I am a hedger a lot of times when I'm talking to people because I'm trying to make it like as like clear. Like I think about at work. Sometimes I think I can be pretty direct, but I can also be a masterful hedger. So I see that. I just think that again, it's like you're taking people who like at this point, you know who they are. Like you're 6 months out. You've had all the raw footage. You know who this group is. You
Mhm.
know that they're like whole people with like dynamic stories and things like that. And so I'm like, why would you choose a format that doesn't feel like it's going to get to like it just felt like do you not know who these
I
people are?
I agree. It's like the format wasn't suited for them,
Yeah.
really.
It was
Yeah.
You fit a format that would be suited for maybe Singles Inferno, where it's like
right.
people who want to showboat.
It ended up just being like fluff that didn't really like go anywhere. Like we didn't, they didn't get anything from each other for it, and we didn't get anything as viewers for it. And I don't like. I'm uncomfortable when people are put on the spot too. Like I
Yeah.
don't. I felt bad for people who were pulling out the questions and like really didn't want to, didn't want to have to ask them. So yeah, I mean, and that kind of feeds into how I felt about the Avatar dates, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, I mean, that
in a
was for me
few.
too. I was like, just have a host read them, like just why are you making them read them? And I just want it noted that I didn't think Taehoon could get more unlikable,
I
and
know.
he did.
He really did.
He actually came off even worse. And this is the thing. I think they showed a lot of footage to the singles before this because they seem to have like a frame of reference for like how they acted. Because sometimes they would like say something, they're like, oh, in the clip I said that, like I also wish the show would just say that. I wish the show would just be like, hey, we showed them footage.
Yeah,
Now they're gonna react to it.
It wasn't clear what they had seen
It
and what they
wasn't,
hadn't.
but
yeah,
they clearly had seen like a good amount. That's also one thing about this reunion special is I would have liked it to happen after the show aired because
Yeah.
I really wanted to see the full force of everyone being like, Taehoon, you're the worst. And how he would react to that. Because I mean, I couldn't believe that he actually was less charming than he was in the show.
And I'm like, you already know kind of at that point what the reaction is because you've seen people have reactions.
Yeah.
And here you're not adjusting who you are.
Right.
And the fact that props to Soohyun, I guess, but she's just like clearly still charmed by Taehoon, and I want to be like, girl,
weirdly so, because she said
girl,
she's like,
wake
I don't
up.
regret. She said she didn't regret her choice of picking him, and that she would do it again.
Yeah, and she would still like laugh at everything he did, and I'm like, hon, he's not funny. He's not. I need you to open your eyes.
She deserves so much better.
Yeah, because she's lovely. She's so sweet. I'm just like, girl, you are leagues and leagues beyond him. But that's side of the point. I guess I'm not surprised that the couples didn't work out.
No, nothing felt.
No, but like I mean, yeah, like Hyukjun and Hyunseo, like he blew it. I feel like he blew it by dating everybody under the sun, and then she told him in the after service, like, I didn't know if you were sincere then, like when you came back to me, or if it was just to save face because people were going to see what you did. And I thought that was I liked her calling him out on that. And then with Junu and Hanju, what I thought was interesting about that is she seemed way into him, and she seemed so relieved when he came to her at the end. And then she admitted to like basically like calling it quits because they texted a little bit after. They never met up after. They texted a little bit until she said we should just end it. And then she admitted in reunion, she admitted that she does that. Like she basically like leaves before getting left. And then that's it. That's where they left it. There was no like, so might they go on a date or, like there was nothing.
And also, it seems again like there's no support after the show's over.
No.
Is there support to these people?
Mm-hmm.
Is there like anyone that could be like, maybe you two should chat, maybe you two should meet for coffee? Like, it's odd to me that you wouldn't be like, let's just meet for coffee. I just, the risk to me seems low. I understand that to them it doesn't.
Right.
But I'm like,
It's Janu.
If you had the, yeah, and so it's just like if you had again, I feel like I'm saying the same thing every time, which is like you can't, if you're not getting the coaching, if you're not getting the experiential learning, then you're not going to be able to apply it. And so we are just seeing that is, it's showing it again. Like you didn't get it, so why would you be able to apply it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sad because I do think, and look, I know we saw them for 10 episodes, like we don't really know, but I think it would have been nice for somebody involved in the show to have pushed these people to just at least see what it would be like outside of the cameras, and like, can't they pay for them to like have a little coffee date?
Holy shit, pay for a date. Like, are you serious? Pay for a, like, correct. Like, oh my God. Like, I just feel, again,
like
if you careless.
Like that should, maybe that should be like the prize of, if you match at the end, we're going to pay for you to go on a real date with no cameras.
Yeah.
And coaching ahead of time.
And coaching ahead of time.
You get to meet with your
no
coach again.
cameras, and then we'll have the reunion and see how it went.
So episode 3, they brought back Jae-yoon from season 1. He remains charming. Like, I want to note
100%.
that he is delightful.
100%.
I was reminded again why I loved him so much from season 1 and why he broke my heart in season 1 when he had so much trouble with the whole like show. He was so charming. So he did this PowerPoint. Was it a little dry? Yes, but that is Jae-yoon. I mean, did I find it silly as a viewer? Absolutely.
Yes.
Did I think it was
in an enjoyable way though?
Yeah. Did I think it was really cool for the singles to have them sit and almost like take notes? Yeah. I thought it was pretty fucking cool. And I thought, that would have made a really good episode 1 of the season. Have Jae-yoon come back.
Like, what if we could do like an actual coaching where then later season you come back and like today when I picked up my daughter, she was saying, you know what, one of her friends struggles at school. So she's like, we worked out a deal today that I am going to tutor her 3 days a week. And she's like, because she struggles more with math and science than I do, but she's feeling pretty like nervous about algebra 2 and chemistry. And so she's like, so I think I'm going to actually learn the material better because I'm going to teach it. And I'm like, yes, it's so true. And so here you go. Like you could have like this like little pipeline if we're going to do seasons, and we could have the singles from the past who've gone through some actual mentorship and coaching get to have a time. They don't have to run the whole show, but they could have a time that they get to come in and be like, this is what I've done for the last year, 2 years, being out in the real world, applying these things in real life.
Yeah. How cool would it be if you bring Jae-yoon back, put him in the Jeju village for an afternoon, have him do his little PowerPoint, have all them take their little note. Like, what is it? You're telling them all this stuff now. They're already on the fucking show.
Right. And they're not dating each other
What
anymore.
are they doing with this fucking notepad now? Oh my God. I was just like, what are we doing? Why are we doing this now?
Right. So like, really speaking from like what the producers are doing, the producers aren't actually doing that for the singles. They're doing it for us, the audience. They're like, here's something viewers will like. And they're not actually doing something that's beneficial to their current singles because the show is already over.
Yeah.
Did I enjoy watching it? Yes.
Yeah, it was cute. he actually I was actually kind of impressed. He gave actionable advice.
He did.
He's like, here's how to plan a date. Here is specifically what you do to plan a date that your girlfriend will like. And he he gave them like how to look through her Instagram. Like, I mean, I was like, okay, Jay, like, I mean, these were excellent ideas that he gave them.
And then when he finished his PowerPoint and just stood there for a second, he's like, oh no, I didn't plan a closer. Let me ask ChatGPT. And they thought he was joking.
And he wasn't.
And he 100% asked ChatGPT how to close it out and then read it straight from his phone. It was absolutely adorable.
And then he did this little thing where he fell off the stage in this, like, on purpose. It was like he was
diving into the bushes.
Yeah, reminiscent of him diving in the bushes.
He's like, I'm going to end my signature way.
Yeah.
And he literally dove to the ground, rolled over, and walked out. And they were all like, is he really leaving like that? And
it was so cute.
Out.
It was so good to see him again. I'm glad he's happy. But and it was just that I was kind of like, this is a really cool idea, but why are we doing this now?
It would have absolutely benefited them to do that in the first episode.
Yeah.
100%. It would have been great.
Okay,
but it was fun.
And stuff. I like seeing stuff like way after the fact.
Yeah. So that brings us to the Avatar dates.
Yep.
Okay, so Avatar dates were episodes 4 and 5. This was sort of weird because they only took, basically they put 4 season 2 singles in like a room, and then they had them meet 4 singles from season 1.
On blind dates.
On blind dates.
And it was very clear that season 2 had not aired yet when they were doing this because the season 1 people hadn't seen it yet, but the season 2 people recognized the season 1 people.
So, so this again would have been a really cool idea to do during the fucking season of the show. I would say the only thing I didn't like is, and again, I like Car the Garden, and we talked how much we liked him in season 1, and then he kind of frustrated me in these Avatar dates because he made them a joke.
But so did Eunji. She made him silly then too.
So did Eunji, but I think she started out.
Ask him to look at your uvula. Like, come on.
Yeah, she started out better, but so
because she did give Car a hard time for the first one because he was making a joke of it, and she's like, "Come on," she's like, "You're embarrassing him. Like, take it seriously."
Yeah,
and he's like, "If you wanted to take it seriously, you would not have me doing this." Like,
I mean, he's not wrong. So
no, and he's not wrong. But then she did the same thing. She made the girls say silly stuff.
So they were speaking through an earpiece while they were on the date. So then they would be like, repeat after me, and they were making them say like silly things, which is, and I could tell like in the last date with Min Hong, and like I could tell she was just frustrated. She was like, ignore what they're saying in your ear. Like they even showed her saying that, which, God, I love her. I miss her. I really do.
Yep.
So again, the idea of the Avatar date, I think, is really cool. And I think it would have been a really neat thing to do during the season with, again, like vetted relationship coaches, like someone who has been working with them like through the season.
Yes.
And then you like you could win an Avatar date, and essentially your coach isn't telling you what to say, but is like helping coach you a little bit in your ear. I think that would be an exceptional idea.
Yes.
For the season.
I'm thinking about the one with Jae-seo and Lee-do. So Jae-seo from season 2 and Lee-do from season 1. Lee-do, our pink-haired girl who doesn't have pink hair anymore, but I still love her.
Oh, she's great.
But she, like Eunji was making her like gargle her water and stuff. And Jae-seo was like, he's like, I don't think this is really, like, he even noticed, he's like, I don't think this is really you. Like he was, he's like, I think somebody's making you do this.
Yeah.
And I was
then it's like, well, what's the point then?
What
why
do they really get out of it? What are they really?
Them bringing back though the 4 singles from season 1. I realize how more attached I am to season 1 contestants.
Yeah.
And I think I feel like I went to war with season 1 contestants
Yeah.
because that's how rough of a watch it was. And I feel like I watched them go through something that was just life-changing, like what some of them had to endure, you know what I mean? Whereas I feel like season 2, everyone was just a little bit more cautious and a little bit more reserved and seemed so much more aware of the cameras. And I just, so for me, I didn't like emotionally attach to season 2 singles either. Whereas like season 1, like I saw like Min Hong, I think Min Hong.
Yeah.
She came on the screen and I my heart fluttered because I realized how much I missed her and loved her. Like she's so direct and cool. She looked amazing too. She had a really great dress on. And I was just like, oh, I miss them. The ballerina, I missed her so much. Her hair looked great.
I will say though, as much as I don't like making people uncomfortable and making people do silly things, I will say that Sung Il from season 1 did really well with Car's direction.
He did really well.
He was a good sport.
I thought when he juggled the soccer ball was pretty funny. I thought that was pretty funny. Yeah. So again, I feel like you're coming up with this programming. You clearly have whoever is doing the programming for After Service. Are they the same ones?
I know.
Which brings us to the last episode.
Wait, I want to say one thing about the Avatar thing.
Yeah.
I think it would have been very interesting to do a better late than single for like a prequel where you do Avatar interact. So you interact as avatars first before you go into the Jeju house.
Oh.
That is something I think, because I don't like how they did the Avatar in the reunion, but I would like the Avatar. I think there's something cool there in terms of like deeper, like putting
if
people
it's helpful, like if it's actual coaching, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, so you do your coaching, then you do your Avatar hangout, and then you see what it's like with people where it's like, you know, you're not actually seeing them yet, but like, you know, you're engaging. The stakes are a little higher now because there's like real people and you know you're going to go meet them, and then you go meet them. And then that could also break the ice a little bit, maybe in the first interactions, because you actually had to hang out ahead. And don't do like one. I mean, I want them to go a little deep, like do a couple and then do the in person.
That's actually a really fun idea. I see where you're going with that, and I do. I think that's a really neat idea.
I think, I think some of this stuff could have been very well utilized in the actual season rather than after.
Yeah.
Especially, let's talk about episode 6.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, especially episode 6. So episode 6, they had all the singles sitting in a room. They actually had Kar the Garden and Eunji sitting there as sort of like the hosts. And so the first thing they did is they kind of gave like multiple choice questions that were like related to things that have happened on the show, which was like, I don't really care about that.
Okay, well, here's what I liked about it, because basically they're like which one of these things that the guys said that one of the men said was the worst, and they gave a quote from every one of the guys, and basically they had the guys answer which one of these quotes is the worst, like by putting the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 or whatever on their whiteboard, and it was funny to see them. The only one, I will say, I'll give Hyuk Jun like props here because he chose his own.
Yeah, he did.
Like,
because he's like, no, I did
this. Like, he owned up to like who said it was fate, and then he said it was fate, and then dated every other girl.
Yeah.
So I did appreciate that. Then they went to the girls and did the same thing, and they gave a thing that every one of the girls did, and they, I think, all picked their own. Yeah. Like, they all owned up to their own. Because
they're smart.
Yeah, but also because they're women and they're awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, that was cute. I was kind of like,
but that's what I liked about it is that the women were able to own up to some of like the maybe not great things that they did or said, whereas the men, like Taehoon, didn't pick his own.
No, because he's a loser. I can't stand him. I can't stand him. I thought he was terrible in episode 6 too, and they kept showing Soo Hyun laughing at everything he said. I'm like, stop it, girl. I'm gonna smack you. If you laugh at him one more time. So then they did what I consider, by the time I finished episode 6, I was actually like mad because I'm like, this is what we could have had.
Yes.
Again. So then what they did is Kar the Garden and Eunji would say, okay, this is a question for the guys. And they would say a question and it would be like,
They did a script. It would be like a hypothetical.
Yeah, they're like a hypothetical. This situation happens. Why is your girlfriend mad? And then they'd give them multiple choice questions. And all the guys would have to vote on this hypothetical. Why, like, if this situation happened, why would their girlfriend be mad? It was delightful. It was funny. The guys got to show their personality. The girls, then they did the same thing for the girls. So Car the Garden would be like, okay, in this hypothetical, like, which would you pick? The girls were loose and friendly. I feel like I saw more personality in this like 20 minutes of episode 6 than I did almost like the whole season. And also, it was such a cool format because they were sort of learning something.
It was absolutely practical. Like one of them, just to give an example, they asked the guys.
I can't think of one. Right.
So I've got a couple.
Yeah.
So this was for the guys, and it was your girlfriend. You meet your girlfriend's like best friend, and after the meeting, she says, "Isn't she pretty?" What do you respond? What do you respond?
And like, funny.
I'm giving the credit to our Jinwoo because he's the one who said she's not as pretty as you. Like that was his response.
Yeah.
And
all of them had really funny response. Like some of them had
were
really
all, like,
funny.
But the girls were like, "Yep, that's a good one. Like that's a good one. Like nope, that's a bad one."
So first of all, you got to see the personality of the guys. Some of them were very funny. Like Jae Sol, I thought was very funny in this.
Yes.
So you got to see more of his personality. You got to see the girls got to see it and got to like interact with the men. Like, oh, that was a funny one. Like, good job. All I could think of was if you would have done this in like episode 1, everything would have been, oh my God, like you're showing their personalities. You're teaching them something about dating. Cause that was also like the whole point of the exercise.
Yes.
Was to like, it was even like questions about dating and stuff.
They were all hypothetical like dating scenarios and it was perfect. Yeah.
And I was like, if you would just have that in the actual show.
Teach them before you throw them to the wolves.
Yeah, because it was funny too, because some of the guys you could tell were like, oh, they were like listening. Cause then Car the Garden and Eunji would interact. I think there was this like, one of the questions to the girls was something like, you don't know if you're dating, but he keeps holding your hand or something like that. So what do you say?
How do you get him to confess? How do you get him to confess?
That's it. And some of the girls' responses were really funny. Like So-yoon was like, huh? Why are you holding my hand? Like it was funny. And then Eunji was kind of like, she kind of gave these like cute little answers. She's like, well, I would say, so-and-so said we're dating. What do you think? And all the girls were like, oh, that's a good one.
Right.
You know what I mean? Eunji and Car the Garden were like giving these like cute little tidbits in a way that was fun for the viewer to watch. Like I enjoyed watching it. It was helping the singles. It was funny. And it was showing everyone's personality in a way that like you did not get in the show. You just weren't getting that. There was nothing that was just doing that in the season.
What we were talking about with like they need to debrief after they have their dates and stuff. This is the kind of thing that we're suggesting. But do this during the show. Do it while they're on Jeju and have that be one of the activities. Do something like that before they even date and then do something maybe like midway through. We're not saying you have to do it on every single episode, but like if you would sprinkle in like a couple of things like that so that they actually can get some practical advice and practical practice, that would make a world of difference.
They need a host.
Even Car the Garden was confused about one of them because this was a question for the guys and it was you're celebrating your girlfriend's birthday and anniversary on the same night. You tell her you love her. She says she's tired, so you leave the restaurant in part ways. You text her the next morning and she's mad, or she texts you the next morning and she's mad. Why? And like what like from that scenario, what went wrong? And even Car the Garden's like, I don't know.
And it was really cute because the girls would be like, Well, I know, like, I actually thought So Yoon showed her personality so much during this little, like, round
Yes, she
table.
did. She was
ended up,
great.
she ended up being, like, super funny and witty. And I was like, I got literally none of that for 10 episodes that were an hour and a half long.
I know.
In the 20 minutes of this thing, I feel like I got more information more information and more personality out of these people. I was so frustrating to watch. It was so I mean, other than
I know.
Taeyoon. Taeyoon was still the worst. But everyone else was just delightful. And I kind of was like, I would have liked them so much more if we would have gotten. I just think there's no need. They tried to take the Singles Inferno thing with this like button where there's no host. And it does not work on Better Lake. Get
Yeah,
a
I agree. I
host
think
in
it
there.
needs to be heavy hosted.
Yes.
Yeah.
Heavy. Have a host in there and then also have relationship coaches. Like give us new celebrities. I don't need Eunji, Car the Garden, Seonguk. You can still involve them and they can still be this like panel, I guess. I also don't think you need a panel, but I know that that's very like Korean.
It's fun. I don't
TV
mind
thing.
it.
Yeah, I don't mind it, but I think you need actual boots on the ground people that are there every single day, and you need a host. You need one host who's just going to wrap it all together, who's like a touchstone. Because if not, you have what you had this season, which was just kind of like 8 people sort of like wandering around Jeju. Do you know what I
But
mean?
I think what it shows me essentially is like, what are we looking for in the show? And what we're looking for is practical.
Yeah.
And so I think it kind of depends on like what are you looking for when you watch it? And for us, the 3 of us seem very aligned that like we want these people to come and leave with like a toolkit that they can use in their life. And so I think all of our criticism and our compliments come back to like, did it advance them towards that goal or did it not advance them towards that goal? But clearly that's what we're looking for as viewers for this experience is like come in and leave with a good toolkit of resources.
Yeah, because I mean, that's what I expect from like Korean television overall. Like I'm just saying, if I'm watching an American reality show, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm not. If I'm watching The Real Housewives of New York, I don't give a shit if those people come away from it with any sort of like practical thing. I'm watching it for the messiness of it. That's not why I'm watching Better Late Than Single at all. I don't actually want messy. I want like really wholesome practicality. I want empathy. I want the show seeming like it cares about these people and it's not just trying to like make a hit like Singles Inferno, which has turned into something else at this point anyway. I guess this is the thing. The reunion show showed me like they have it in their repertoire. Do you know what I mean? Like they have the ability.
This was episode 6. I was like, my God.
So you thought the same thing too? Like you watched it and you're just like, we could have had this in the show. This is what we've been asking for.
It's just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Like, don't do that after the fact. Don't teach them.
I know.
Don't give them dating advice after they're done. They're done.
Yeah,
dating.
I think that was the thing. It's just like, why do it all? Like at the end, for me, a reunion should be, this is the recap of where we're at now and lessons learned. It's not a time to like if you think of it as like a book, it's almost like you started a new chapter and then you ended it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, well, it was like, this was part of their story arc that you just like never gave us. You just never gave us a story arc for like, or character arc for like any of these people. And now you're like, well, I guess maybe I'll try a little bit here at the end, you know, and it was like, come on, you could have been doing this whole time.
Yep.
I don't know. They're probably filming a third one before they even finish filming this one. You know, that's what they do. So we can only
I'm
hope.
gonna, look, they've shown us that they can do what we're asking. So will I give them another chance next year? Yes.
I know. I probably will.
Because I want to see. I want to see if they do it better.
I know.
They're so close. They're so close now.
I know. I think
feel
it
like
was still such a good choice they didn't do the overnight, though. I'm still going to give up.
Oh, thank God.
My God, yes. Absolutely.
At least they learned, like, the changes they did make, at least were for the better. Like, I don't think they made a worse choice. Does that make sense? Like the things that we didn't like are just things that they still didn't change from season 1, but I didn't think they took a choice. They made a choice that made it worse. Again, I thought the like, what was it, Sparks House? I thought that was a dud, but I didn't think it was a bad choice.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Again, the like gift giving thing, like we said we said in the last episode that we recorded, I liked the gift thing. I thought that was really cute. Sign your freaking letters though, people. My God, put your name on it.
I
Don't you
just
do
think
that in
spoon
school?
feed it all, and that's not a insult. It is like, this is a show. Like, if you're an eternal single and you're like, you know, this is where I'm at, like, spoon feed them. Just spoon feed them everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they were close. I'm glad I'm glad I watched the after service, because now I
Yes.
feel like maybe they'll take their notebooks home and have like a nice little blind date. I can only hope so. And I hope Taehyun has now watched the show and is being shamed by everyone he knows and loves. I'm sorry, he's not that
I
bad.
always wonder what happens when you just like go on a show and you end up just being that person.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'll never go on a reality show.
Yeah, what happens if they edit me and I'm just like the freaking like,
I mean,
look like a
that's
goblin.
right.
I
That's
do.
that's what you risk by
It's
doing that.
terrifying.
But then
Yeah,
also
I'll
just don't be an a-hole.
Right. Don't be a dick and you'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, he did say some of those things. So, like, you know, they just edited it, but he still said it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, all right. So we'll probably watch the next season. Look, I'll still watch Singles Inferno. I don't care. I'll probably still watch it to watch all those girls walk with their heels in the sand.
In the
Look,
sand.
I'm still here for all of it. I am too. But I'm looking for like, I can still be here for it and still be like, and I'm looking for
Something more.
Yeah, I mean, I think, critique is fair. And I don't think that this feels, I think that this feels like, at the end of the day, what I want from Singles Inferno is what we're never going to get, but I can still ask for it, which is just more authenticity and more like just folks, because that would
Yeah.
be way more fun to watch.
Yeah.
And for Better Late Than Single, it's going to be more education and tips and tricks, because I want to see people like getting those tools and then having to try it, because that would be very compelling to me to watch.
I know, right?
Because
To
we're
have
like
to, like-
rooting for people to be
I
like, we
know.
want you, like, you know, we don't want you to necessarily feel like partnership is the answer to everything, but I want you to feel like you at least have the tools, that you're like in the mix to try things out if that feels good to you, not feel like
Right.
that's just a part of the world that's like not for you.
Yeah, I mean, that's too my biggest thing is like, do I think everyone like needs to have a partner? No, but these people did go on a show seeking it. So like,
Yeah.
I assume that is a goal in their lives. And that's why I want them to have tools to reach that goal. You know what
Yep.
I mean?
100%.
And if you've never had it, then you're going to be like, I'm curious. Like, you know, maybe you
Right.
do it and you date some people and you're like, okay, like I'm kind of happy to do whatever, however. But like, yeah, it's just, if you've never had it, it's just going to feel like the world. And I will say, having been in Seoul and Busan, like, so two bigger cities, I celebrated my 20th wedding anniversary this year. I have never felt so single as I did in those two cities. Like, I felt so single, because like the cute coupleness vibes that are out there, just like when you're out and about, I was like, damn. Like, if I was just doing that like day in, day out, and I like just was like, I don't know how to like get there, that would feel very
Yeah.
intense to
Yeah,
me, because I
that's
can just
so
say that
wild.
like that cuteness dating culture was really in your face, and like it was inescapable everywhere I went. Like, I would go in like, and I mean, yes, I wasn't in like, I mean, I went to touristy areas, of course, but I mean, I guess I was just in like social areas. But like, yeah, I would like go look at like a cute store, like a cute clothing store, and like the boyfriend's there just holding the purse,
Oh,
telling the girl how cute she looks the whole time. Photos getting taken all around me. Like, everywhere you went, it was just very cute and coupled and like matchy. And like, it was like a whole thing. And I was like, damn, I feel very lonely, even though like I have a whole ass like family at home, like just not having that right there. And if I was with Nick, I wouldn't have like, that's not how we roll, but I would have been like,
Yeah,
I would have still felt lonely. I would have been like, damn, I want to have my cute little matchy shirt and have my boy, like have Nick carry my purse and be like, yes, queen, those earrings look great on you today.
Oh,
So, I mean, if you just saw that all the time, I guess that's what I'm feeling for when I see these eternal singles, quote unquote, is like, man, like, yeah, give them some tools so that they
Right.
can at
It's
least
like
feel
in their
they're
face
in it.
all the time.
Yeah.
mhm.
All
All
right.
right.
Well, here's to progress.
Right.
Mhm.
If I was a teacher, if I was grading them, I'd be like, we made some progress.
Yes. It was not problematic like it was last year.
Yeah, I didn't feel exploitive. Like, I didn't
No.
worry, like, am I doing something exploitive
No.
for like
And
inner-
now,
Am I
and now with
complicit?
this,
Yeah.
now with this after, right. We don't want to be complicit in people's emotional trauma. But now with this after service, they've shown us that they're capable of doing what we're asking for. Just do it at the right time.
Yeah.
Maybe they're
Come on,
listening. Maybe they're listening.
You're so close. Just get it together. You're so close.
Yeah.
So close.
If you are listening to Afternoon of Delight, bring us
Which
into
you
that
should.
writer's room. We're here for you.
Yeah.
We'll help you out. We got it covered.
Yeah, we will bring you in. We will bring you in. You just sit in a chair, pop me on an avatar, and I'll show you what to do for. I love nothing more than to be bossy for, 2 hours.
Me too. Put me
Car
on
the
the
garden,
mic.
sit down, and I'll be like, Car, this is what's up.
Car, you're gonna sit this one out. I got it.
And Car, when you show up, this is how you're gonna be the funny guy. That's still gonna like be the helpful guy.
Yeah.
Right.
We
Funny
want that
and
for you
helpful.
too, my guy. We want that for you too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we hope you enjoyed Better Late Than Single. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the after service and what you hope for in season 3, if there is one, which we'll be here for it if there is.
Mhm.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Annyeong.
Annyeong.
Kamsahamnida. Thank you for listening to Afternoon of Delight. Where can you find us outside the pod? Head on over to afternoonadelight.com. That's AFTERNOONADELIGHT.com. You'll find links to all our social media, our book recs, K-pop and K-skincare recs, and if you want even more Afternoon of Delight, because really who doesn't, you can join our Patreon, where you can choose the patron level that's right for you. Join in daily K-drama conversations, listen to bonus podcast episodes just for patrons, and participate in our monthly live K-drama support group via Zoom. We can't wait for you to be a part of the community. Until next time, annyeong!